First and foremost, this video is not a proper and prepared theory, so there is probably many points that I could miss. I prefer to call it as my random thought and put it into a video, a lot bit to be specific. This question has already been floating around in my mind ages ago. So the point is, as you have read on the title of this video, if delusion exists and is a counterpart of vision, then why nobody makes the artificial Geonosis already, or something similar to it? Is there something that only Geonosis has? What makes Geonosis so special? On the surface, it seems to be impossible to create artificial Geonosis. There is no single record, even from the glorious past, that has attempted to create a thing similar to Geonosis. Or is it? I personally think there was an attempt to create that in the past, and most of us don't even notice it. Or rather, the thing itself is not something we would like to expect. You might ask, what is that Zen? Spill the beans already. Before we talk about it, let's start with the basic first. What is even Geonosis? In general, Geonosis is a special item in the form of chess piece given by Celestia as a sign of Archon status, as well as a link between the two. At the first glance, Geonosis seems to be a unique item exclusive to the Archons, but if we expand it further, there is actually another item similar to it. Venti ever said to us, let's say he's being honest,
That's because this is a secret that only Archons are privy to. We don't need primitive tools like visions. Instead, each Archon has an internal magical focus that resonates directly with Celestia itself, known as a Gnosis.
Basically, Geonosis is a more advanced tool compared to Vision, so Geonosis shares some similarities with Visions. If you think about it, it is kinda true. Visions enhance humans' ability to use elemental energy, while Geonosis enhance Archon's ability to a certain extent. Some Vision users can manifest a unique ability beside their elemental energy usage, like Yelan with her hiding skill, Visual manifests us, Keiya creates berries out of ice, and Ember summons a pyro seal in the manga, etc. etc. And Geonosis, as we know so far, can manifest Mora from Geogenosis, some energy from Dendrogenosis to power up Acacia, and combination of Dendro plus Electrogenosis to unlock Kukadevata's realm of consciousness. Not only that, these two tools are equally difficult or even nearly impossible to destroy or tamper. And you know what's something not impossible to do? Exactly, liking this video. If you think the video is informative, then feel free subscribing to this channel and click on the bell to stay updated to everything this channel does. Thank you for the support, and now, let's get back to the main topic. Despite their major different look, Vision and Geonosis are technically the same. They have two important parts, the casing and the gem inside. The casing corresponds to their current homeland, and the gem depends on elemental or ambition they are associated with. That's why every nation has a different casing, or chess piece for Geonosis. And as for the gem, Geonosis seems to be more full of glowing liquid, while Vision is more towards solid and can be deactivated, like the user died or lost their ambition. So overall, Geonosis is indeed similar to Vision in the grand scale. And if Vision can be replicated by making delusion, why there is no artificial or replicate for Geonosis? This brings us to the next question. What makes Geonosis so special that make it so hard to replicate? Well, it is pretty simple, because the substance that Geonosis has is probably completely different from Vision and Delusion. Vision is bound to the gem and ambition of a person. Delusion is bound to the God's residue and actively toxic toward normal humans. These further indicate that Vision and Delusion cannot stand alone. Geonosis, on the other hand, has no boundary. It is not bound by Archon either. As we have witnessed a couple of times, even if Geonosis is taken from the Archon or change the owner, it can still be active. So Geonosis doesn't have restriction from the outside party. Then if that is the case, what substances does Geonosis have? Until this moment, it is still unclear. But based on my observation, Geonosis seems to contain the purest elemental energy, because the higher the purity, the more effective and godly it will become. Well, it perfectly matches how advanced Geonosis is. By that logic, we need to create a perfect environment or state of matter where elemental energy purity can be achieved and stored. Now, since we already have the layout, what do you think past civilization might have done to achieve it? In my opinion, there were two attempts, namely seeking or producing energy capsules and natural manipulation. In fact, these two things already exist and we have seen this before. I would like to quickly remind you that the energy capsule in this context is azocide. Azocide is an ancient form of energy, once used by the Khaenri'ahns. It was drawn for pure elemental energy from ley lines and formed into energy blocks for use. What is more interesting is that from Rene's investigation note, it suggests that azocide is a convenient, stable, and safe energy resource. From that, Rene and his friends go back to Fontaine and implement what they have learned about azocide. I know that azocide does not 100% resemble Geonosis power level, but at least it shows us that people in the past, especially Khaenri'ahns, have already figured out how to achieve elemental energy purity, which is a crucial part of Geonosis, even though it could be unintentional. Additionally, with the energy crisis that's going on in Fontaine, perhaps they somehow create something similar to Geonosis in a certain extent based on what they have learned, either by using the same method as Khaenri'ahns, or they develop their own method like mixing the abyss and elemental energy. Who knows? Okay, beside that, we still have one attempt left, and that is natural manipulation. As I mentioned before, the crucial part of Geonosis is elemental energy purity. Then I would like to ask you, which in Teyvat something that contain elemental energy purity? Currently, there are two, Slime and Hypothesis. Well, you could argue if dragons like Apep or Archon contain pure elemental energy, but here's the thing. Dragons, Slime, and Archon are not artificial, while Hypothesis could be. I have already made a dedicated video talking about Hypothesis topic. I would really recommend you to watch it for more in-depth discussion. The title of the video is A Comprehensive Theory About Hypothesis, I guess. For the sake of this video, basically, the reason why I count Hypothesis as artificial, it is because of three aspects, namely, its location, platform, and body or component. These three aspects, if you pay close attention, are not something that occur naturally. And if we dig enough, we will find that Hypothesis seems to be a relic from past civilization far before Khaenri'ah. This relic could be built for a certain reason, and I suspect one of the reasons is to seek the building block of Teyvat or energy resources. I don't know what actually happened, but somehow this thing got abandoned and became a relic to this day. If my suspicion is correct, then Hypothesis could also derive from a more ancient thing, the primitive version of it, like a rock of elemental energy floating around. I don't know. One last thing I want to address is that what is the purpose of artificial Geonosis, you might ask? Well, I think it is the same reason as delusion, to make humans control elemental energy by themselves, but in case of Geonosis, to give human authority over the element without any god's intervention. Overall, this whole idea process is merely speculation. If you have any additional thought or info regarding Geonosis, feel free to share in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, hello Zen here, and see you next time.